Hi y'all, it's Andrea. Happy New Year. I am here today to tell you why I have been thinking about leaving YouTube for more than 2 years now. I almost said goodbye last year, and then I established Studio 365, and we set the goal of reorganizing our creative spaces. And then as 2023 began to come to an end, I really seriously reconsidered if it wasn't time to say goodbye. So I think it was actually Christmas Eve. I was still very much on the fence about what to do with this channel, and an email arrived. The person will remain unnamed, but you know who you are. And they just really wanted to take a moment and express their gratitude. It had been a really challenging year for them, and in part, my videos kept them going. So when I was doing that Christmas series, and it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was inconvenient. Like, I have a bustling household of children and volunteer commitments that are very time consuming this time of year. And I just knew it was important to keep my word. And at the end of that series, I received that confirmation in this beautiful email thanking me for my time. So I've always said, if it makes a positive difference in the life of one person, it was worth all the effort. One person is the equivalent of every person. So if you can have a positive impact on a single human being, it was worth the effort, whatever you're doing. So all of that being said, there's still a sense of dissatisfaction regarding this YouTube channel that lingers inside of me. And I think I know why. It has nothing to do with the number of subscribers. In fact, I'm never gonna ask you to subscribe or unsubscribe again from this day forth. What I care about is that one person. Did it make a difference in the life of one person? Now, I am a very empathetic, compassionate human being, and I've known for a long time, since the inception of this channel, that what I was doing here had nothing to do with sewing. It had everything to do with community. This is the year when everything I do will be centered around the people who are in this beautiful community. I'm not going to serve the algorithm anymore. I'm not going to count subscribers. I'm not going to care if you like or dislike the video. My mission will be solely centered upon bringing people together for the sake of community, for the sake of interacting, for supporting each other, for creating. Creativity brings so much joy to this world. And it's even more fun if you create with other human beings. We just survived a horrific pandemic, but there is another epidemic that has been raging in this world, and it's called loneliness. So maybe you didn't have a happy holiday. Maybe you haven't even talked to anybody this week. I have created a safe place that is inclusive, that is diverse, and that is welcoming of people from all over the world, with all different belief systems, with all different skill levels, with all different opinions. In 2024, I will no longer be bringing tutorials in the form of YouTube videos. I'll still be here on YouTube because I know that is one way to reach the people who are suffering in this world right now. Okay, that's the one way to reach the one person who needs to hear from me in 2024. I'm still going to teach sewing because I'm passionate about that. It's still going to be 100% free, but I'm not serving the algorithm anymore, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time by myself talking to this camera, editing that content, criticizing, judging, guessing if that was the right thing to do. What I am going to do is spend my time in community with other makers from all over the world who are eager to spend time with the same. And we're going to support each other. We're going to laugh together. We might cry together because sometimes sad stuff happens. But we will be there for each other in a community setting that is accessible to anyone who has an internet connection. If you're wondering if you'll be the only African American person, the only person from outside the United States, the only person who doesn't have perfect English, you won't be. Sewspire Studio 365 is open to all. And the language that we speak is called creativity, and it is rooted in love and compassion. Everyone is welcome at Studio 365. The only reason Studio 365 costs $8 per month is so that there can be some barrier of entry to the people who would like to disrupt that safe, beautiful community. Studio 365 isn't going to be for all of you, right? That's a membership-based community. The instruction that normally I would post here on YouTube is going to be posted for free on the same amazing platform I use for Studio 365. It's called Kajabi. It's an educational platform that's all built out, that's secure, that's amazing, that has internal features like chat boards like you find on Facebook, live rooms like you would experience in Zoom, and it is really phenomenal. It cost me $199 a month, and this is the year I'm going to use every penny of that $199 to expand this community. So, for example, I have that cute little divided bag that I shared on Instagram. We're going to make that together as a greater Sewspire community for free. But we're going to do it live in the Kajabi space. So let's say I'm making that next week. I'll come to you with a YouTube video. I'll give you the link. I'll tell you where to find me. And you're going to be able to enter the live room. I should say the first 200 people will be able to enter the live room and make that with me live, and interact and ask questions and get help with your project. In advance of that, there'll be a classroom page. They'll have the PDF, all the pattern cuts, etc. So anybody can access the classroom page. You're going to find that link here in the YouTube video I'll create. You're going to have the invitation to join me live, to make it and be part of this community and meet other makers and chat with them while I sew. We can sew together. The possibilities are endless with this platform. Now, the $199 might sound like a lot of money to you per month. It really isn't when I compare it to the, say, $1,200 a month I paid to have commercial studio space, to have insurance for the business, and blah, 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 right? All of that pales in comparison to the $26,000 a year I spend to earn this degree in tourism and events management. This is also the year where I put my mouth where my money is, and I'm going to employ the education that I am earning to bring you spectacular events, all hosted off of YouTube, live in a virtual setting, and most of those will be free. So if that sounds good to you, keep your eye on Sewspire.com, keep your eye here on the YouTube channel, keep your eye on the Sewspire Instagram, the Sewspire Facebook group. All of those social media sites will continue to be updated, but I will be working in our creative community space, which is hosted on a platform called Kajabi, which is very innovative and safe, and it will be hosted under the Greater Sewspire umbrella, okay? Don't worry if you don't remember all of that. There'll be links in every video, and you will have plenty of advance notice, which is why I'm giving you a whole month to prepare for the first quarterly workshop I will be hosting. This is a micro workshop. It's going to be a half day. We're going to spend together from noon Eastern till 6 p.m. Eastern in the Sewspire Zoom room. There's a classroom page for this. The PDF is already up. The chat boards are open. And we are going to be making my newest design. I've never made a bag with you using this technique. I learned this technique while making the Monica tote by Aura Rosa Patterns. Highly recommend that pattern if you are an advanced bag maker. It challenged even me, but in a good way. I like a challenge, and I love the Aura Rosa patterns. Absolutely love them. Hands down, top favorite independent pattern maker out there for bags and accessories. So I learned a technique in that. Then I simplified it the Sewspire way. So my brain, which is 100% visual, can understand this. And I took that simplified Sewspire process, which is different than the Aura Rosa process, but that's just what inspired me to think a little harder, a little longer, a little more creatively about that process. And I came up with this process, which the only name that keeps popping up for me to call this is the Triple Lindsay. So right now we're going to go with that. We're going to call this the Triple Lindsay. I am going to be using that technique in a lot of future tutorials, starting with that little 3-compartment organizer, which we're going to make together for free on the new platform. Okay, and just in case that wasn't clear, everybody will have access to the course documents, the classroom page, the chat boxes. You'll be able to ask questions. You'll be able to watch the recording of us making it together. But the first sew will be made together in a community setting with the first 200 people who entered the room. Because right now my plan is capped at 200 people for that. Now, rewinding to the Belle Bag, that is a paid workshop. I will be there with you. I will demo each step of the process. I already have the PDF up for you. which has the written instructions, and we will go in that exact order. So you're going to have the visual of me sewing it. You'll be able to ask questions. You'll be able to clarify. You're going to have your PDF document. I'll be going in that exact order. So if you fall a little behind, we can get caught up during the breaks. It's a 6-hour workshop, so please pack your lunch, bring some snacks, bring your beverage of choice. Every 60 minutes or 90 minutes, I forget, it's outlined on the classroom page, we're going to break, take a little stretch break. That'll also be an opportunity for you to catch up. All that being said, if you want to reserve a seat and just come and watch and then sew it using the written instructions, you can. That quarterly workshop will not be recorded. Okay, we're going to spend all day together. People are going to have questions. We're going to need to go back. We're going to be conversing. We're going to be laughing, introducing ourselves. It's designed to be a fun experience for us all. So it won't be recorded. There won't be any video you can watch again. You could try to make the project from the written instructions if you like, but I highly recommend, if you register and pay for the Belle Workshop on February 3rd, noon Eastern time, that you show up one way or another. Even if your camera's off and you're just watching, that's perfectly fine, because there won't be a way for you to replay that day. It's designed to be a moment to bring makers together and experience, okay? That's my first event this year. There'll be 3 more. This particular event is limited to 100 seats. I'm one of those. So I have 99 seats open. My Studio 365 members get a complimentary seat because they have been there the whole time supporting me through this transition. So Studio 365 members, you already have access to the classroom page. You can get your PDF, you can get your materials list, you can start commenting, we can start brainstorming about the type of materials, you can ask questions, and you have access to the Zoom link and a seat on Saturday, February 3rd, to make the Belle Bag live with me and our other Sewspire creative friends. If you are not interested in joining Studio 365 and being a part of that inclusive and diverse community of makers, I have another option for you. I have limited seats for sale for $29.99 for that 6-hour workshop. All the instructions are provided for you, and you have access to that whole classroom page, just as the Studio 365 members do. For as long as there are seats, I will keep the link down in the description where you can just buy a la carte access to the Belle Workshop on Saturday, February 3rd. Okay, that's a one-time fee of $29, and you're in the door. Enjoy yourself, and you are free to access that classroom page for as long as it exists. All right? So the next thing that's going to be different in 2024 and forevermore is I am done keeping a schedule. I am done forcing creative content out of me when I have migraines, when I have family obligations that need to be handled, when I just don't feel like it. I'm going back to the early Sewspire days when I would wake up inspired and something was just nagging me to be born into this world. I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure of waking up completely inspired and wanting to sew something, but that's where I'm going back to. That's what happened with the Belle Bag, and that's what happened with the little pouch. I woke up just inspired. I instinctively knew how this should come together, and I enjoyed losing myself and time in the process. So there'll be no set schedule. There won't be like videos Friday at noon. All of my YouTube content and the projects that I post for us to sew together live will be as they arise. Okay, I'm getting back into that creative vibe. It's such a wonderful place to exist, and the ideas seem infinite. I'm not going to keep a schedule. I'll still be here. I'll still post the videos to tell you how to participate in the community sewing events. And of course, I will be showing up as promised on the days and time for the Studio 365 community. That is not a burden. That is my absolute pleasure. And the reason why, there are other human beings on the side of that camera. I'm not sitting here talking to my iPhone and sending that out to the abyss, wondering if anyone can hear me or they like what I'm doing. I will have other human beings on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern who are working on creative projects, who inspire me, who fill me up, who share their knowledge and are eager to partake in mine. And we will meet for our open studio days, as well as our specialized projects. In January, we're going to be sewing a car trash can together. We also have a little pattern exchange going on where we're swapping PDFs. Those documents are already free. It's just they're curated and you can go in and download a whole bunch of PDFs. You didn't have to search the internet, watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos. It's kind of like a resource when you're just looking for something fun to make or a specific project. We have our chat boards there. We have our challenges there. And again, that's a very close-knit, diverse, and inclusive community that is open to you, but it does have an $8 a month membership fee that's reoccurring. You can cancel anytime you like, no questions asked. If you need help, just send me an email. I'm happy to take care of that for you, or you can, of course, go into your own settings and cancel and never mention it again. We will certainly miss you, but I recognize I'm never offended when someone wants to leave Studio 365 for one reason. Community settings require participation. If you never show up for our meetings and you don't interact with the other members of the group, of course, it's not going to be for you. There's not going to be any tangible or intrinsic benefits for you if you don't participate. So I really want people to join 365 that want to participate. And as long as there's me and at least one other person, there will be a Studio 365. That's what's happening here in 2024. For those of you that are excited or maybe even a little bit scared about joining a creative community of makers, I just again really want to reassure you, we are diverse, we are inclusive, we are rooted in compassion and love. It's a safe space. Come on over and join us.